Yesterday we talked about why someone would want to move to paradise. Let's talk today about who paradise is right for, because it's not right for everybody. But there's different groups of people at different ages, different life stages, different work programs that maybe moving to paradise is the perfect solution to them. There's not just one, lots of different options. And I want you to consider it because you might not have realized that this might be an option for you depending on where you are in your life. One of the key groups of people that often move to paradise, as you probably know, are baby boomers. There are lots and lots of baby boomers, recent or long-term retirees, who have decided that they want to move to paradise for a better cost of living, lower cost, because they're free from the workplace and are able to move and go for better climate or lower costs. That's the people who traditionally have moved to paradise, have moved to Mexico, have been retirees, often snowbirds, but people who are retired and not working. But there are a lot of singles today who are looking, living on a fixed income, maybe not even reaching retirement age yet. I know many, many single women of my friends who are in their 50s, their 60s, they can't find good jobs. They've spent the last 20 years raising children, maybe alone, maybe widowed, many of them divorced, and they have traded maybe career opportunities for family opportunities. They've raised their children, maybe they're not married anymore, and all of a sudden they're saying, how can I survive on a single income? My lifestyle was based on a two-person income to support the family, and now I'm here alone, and how am I going to do it? I don't have the money to live as I thought I would on one income. There are a lot of baby boomers, whether they're couples or singles, who are really struggling trying to get by on a fixed income. We're facing, horrific inflation today. Those of us who are older, we remember, the years of inflation of 10%. I remember 24% mortgage rates. Those things really did happen. And people are looking at struggling and how am I going to survive on my fixed income? Maybe it's just Social Security. The average Social Security check is like $1,326 a month. How do you survive on $1,326 a month in the United States? You live in poverty, in HUD housing, off of food stamps. But you don't have to live that way in Mexico. You can live in comparative, like royalty, compared to how you do in the United States. And so those boomers, a little bit older, maybe not even getting Social Security yet. Maybe those people in the 60s, early 60s, struggling because you can't get a job when you're 60 years old. It's very difficult to get a good quality job in corporate America when you're over 50, 55. So you may have had a good career, but you can't get that good career anymore. Maybe you're single. What in the world are you going to do? Well, moving overseas is one of those options that gives you opportunities to live better than you would otherwise. There are some just plain adventure lovers. They're bored. They want to do something new and different and adventuresome. And maybe they spent all those years raising the kids and they were homebodies and did the PTA and, supported the kids, sports. But now it's time for your life. Maybe you're ready to go and have new adventures and travel and meet new people and do new things that you put off for many years while you were raising your family. Maybe it's time to get back your spirit of adventure that maybe it isn't lost forever. Maybe it's still there. There are a lot of people who are concerned about the direction of our economy, the direction of our country, the divisiveness, the political situation. A lot of people are saying, I don't feel comfortable with what's going on. Some of those people want to experience other cultures or get away from the divisiveness and the conflict and the nastiness and the pervasive 24/7 news propaganda and causing so much anxiety. Those people can find respite here because I don't ever have the TV on even. I don't listen to news. I don't get news. I choose not to subject myself to that constant barrage, which is part of our life, of negativism that comes about. There are a lot of people who are workers, younger workers of any age, who are looking forward to the opportunity of working remotely. One of the huge transformations of the last 2 years is the wholesale shift to working at home. Some companies are saying, we want you to come back 3 days a week, blended, hybrid in office. I'm a career coach, and that's how I've made my living for the last 10 years, helping people find jobs And what I can tell you is 100% of the people who hire me or that I talk to are looking to work remotely. They're not going to go back in the office. Work remote, work from home is here to stay. And the good news is you get to choose where home is. And you can stay where you are right now, or you can explore a wonderful new place from home. I work in paradise. I live on a white sandy beach island, just 7 miles due east of Cancun. It's a little white archipelago in the Caribbean, right where the Caribbean meets the Gulf of Mexico, and it's as close to paradise as I'm ever going to get. And I have a vibrant career coaching, a resume writing, a lifestyle coaching business. I'm an author. I do marketing consulting, and nobody needs to know where I am unless I choose to tell them, because I can work seamlessly, and so can you. So if you have a job that depends on a cell phone or a computer, and you're not, customer focused in terms of having to count money at the bank or turn on light switches in the computer room, then you can consider working remotely. Not necessarily as a digital nomad. A digital nomad kind of means you travel all over. I'm a remote worker, but I'm settled in paradise. I'm not traveling to, 10 different countries in a year. I'm settled here as a remote worker, but I have the choice to do that. And you do too in many different instances. Tim Ferriss skyrocketed to fame with his book, The 4-Hour Work Week, and he talked about geo-arbitrage. And that is the concept of leveraging where you live in a low-cost market to live better on limited dollars. And that's what that opportunity is in many cases for remote workers. There's also some opportunities that a lot of people may not have explored. If you're working, like have special needs children, maybe you have a child that's handicapped, maybe you have a child who's born with Down syndrome or physical limitations. And when you're caring actively for a child with limitations, of a child of any age, it could be an adult child, you still have got to provide often 24-hour care. And it can be absolutely overwhelming because you hate to sacrifice your child's well-being for your own sanity. And what you find is that you're a prisoner in your own home, and you don't need to be, because in Mexico and in other places, you can afford almost round-the-clock care for your loved ones, for your children, for a pittance, for what you would pay on an hourly basis. 1 hour of having a caregiver come in, you can have a 24-hour shift of caregivers come in, or a full day, a 10-hour day of somebody coming in to care for your special needs child, so that you can go out, live well, or that you can do things. You don't have to be tied down caring for a special needs child. Same thing for people like me who have cared for elderly parents. I cared for my mom at home for almost 10 years as she declined from dementia. She was the smartest, most wonderful, most brilliant woman in the world, and she got vascular dementia and her mind left. And I made the choice to care for her as long as I could, do it safely for her. But it wore on me. It was a burden. I felt I was trapped in my own home. I couldn't go out. I couldn't have a life. I couldn't go out and have a drink with a girlfriend or go to a movie by myself without arranging someone to be there and paying for care at very high U.S. wages. And the good news is you can have quality of life in Mexico for a pittance. Had I known 10 years ago what I know now, I would have chosen back when I could have, when my mom was in good enough health, I would have chosen to move to Mexico then, because I could have gotten wonderful care for her. The money that I spent $2,000 and $3,000 and $4,000 a month to care for her in the United States, to pay for hospice treatment, to pay for a nursing home, we could have lived like royalty here, just on her veterans benefits and her Social Security benefits that went to somebody else, went to nurses on shifts and in nursing homes. We could have together have lived like royalty, and her quality of care would have been better, and my quality of life would have been better. And I don't think people think about that. One of the things you need to know is that with Medicare Advantage plans, you can get free medical coverage of Medicare. Will pay for your emergency care and urgent care overseas, anywhere in the world. So if you have a person with medical problems, they can still be taken care of in an emergency situation and paid for by Medicare, just like in the United States, while you're living in paradise. And a lot of people have never understood that. I was just talking to somebody today who was late 60s, and he had no idea that you could use Medicare Advantage Plan, that's the Part D, to provide medical care for your urgent care and emergency care, not routine, not woman checkup and things like that, but urgent or emergency care, and it covers an awful lot. So those are things that you could think about. Another group that want to live in paradise are sun lovers. With grown kids, a lot of times you've been priced out of real estate in Florida, Arizona, Texas. Real estate has gone up. I know people who used to live in South Florida, and they said the real estate prices have just gone up, especially during the winter tourist season. They can't afford to live where they used to vacation for 4 or 6 months out of the year. They just have been priced out of very attractive places in the United States. Well, this is an option to have that same quality of life at a very low cost that you couldn't afford in the States. A lot of recently divorced or widowed people who are kind of looking for a new lease on life. They want to change their life. People who want to leave behind bad memories, whether it's a spouse or a lost spouse or child, custody issues, or some of the nastiness that comes with divorce or loss of a loved one, even sometimes widows and widowers who are dealing with loneliness, or people who've simply transformed their lives and no longer have a mate and a partner. They might want to look at reinventing themselves, carrying a new life, reinventing their life for the better and living behind bad memories and bad situations. That's an option. And anybody who's seeking new experiences, new adventures, meeting new people, constant learning, constant exposure to new concepts, adventure in your life, this is an option for you. And then there's one other category of people that we don't think of very often, and that's people who want to make a difference in other people's lives. You can make donations to lots of charities in the States or back in Canada. You can give money. But it's often very difficult to transform people's lives because nonprofit organizations and charities are so structured and there's so many rules about it that you sometimes can't get hands-on and make a difference. Well, in Paradise, they need people who can make a difference. You can make a difference by tutoring children, by volunteering at a hospital, by helping with pet rescue, with running a diabetes clinic, in so many different opportunities, starting or working in a charity that reaches out, hands-on and helps people, with food needs or medical needs or sponsoring children to scholarships. There are so many different things that you can do with your life and your talents and your energies in a smaller market that desperately needs your skills and your background so that you can make a difference in people's lives. And that matters to a lot of people because sometimes our lives don't have the same significance as we get older that they did when we were working professionals, but you can make a difference at any age in other people's lives. And that's one of the big gifts that living overseas and living in Paradise offers you individually in terms of personal growth and fulfillment. This is Diane Huth. I'm the Runaway Sherpa. I help people learn how to run away from home as grown-ups and live in paradise. They can escape to paradise where you can earn dollars, spend pesos, escape to paradise, live of the life of your dreams. If you'd like to learn more, I invite you to go to www.learntoliveinparadise.com, where I'll give you options of how I might be able to help you discover your roadmap to paradise and how to get there. If you've enjoyed today's video, please like it, give me a thumbs up, and if you could share it with other people, I would love that, somebody who needs to hear this message. And just as importantly, please subscribe to my channel or my page or follow my page so I can send you notices more often because I've got an important message for you tomorrow, which is who paradise is not right for. So I want to make sure that you get that message tomorrow. Take care. Greetings from paradise. Talk to you soon.